Good morning. I'm Ayya Vimala. Today's September 26th. Another beautiful day here in northern Illinois. I hope you have beautiful weather where you are. And you've had a good day or you're going to have a good day. I have been listening to Gil Fronsdale, and I was just listening this morning to his meditation from yesterday morning. It's part 5 of the dharmic karmic flow in our lives. And it's been such an enlightening series of talks and meditations. So the 5th one, he's been talking about the quality, and we can do it in our meditation and then try to carry it into our day, of letting be. We often talk about letting go of things on our mind, letting go in terms of relaxing our bodies and relaxing our mind. And this talk was on letting be. And it's not only intriguing to me, but it's really profound. And I've been witnessing some things that have been very hard for me to let be. Kind of injustices happening to other people, to friends of mine. And it's been very hard to let it be. You know, at first it feels, okay, there's something that's not right that's happening to this person, and the first reaction is to want to fix it, want to do something about it, and not feeling like there's much I can do. And talking about letting it be was really has deeply influenced me, because Gil's talking about letting it be is not needing to jump in or try to fix it, or even like in a way kind of taking on that other person's karma. But what we can do, and we talk about this all the time, especially when practicing metta meditation and trying to live with that quality of loving kindness, it often is that we can become a refuge to others. Just our presence can become more tranquil, more a stiller, calmer, peaceful presence. And that provides a refuge for others, provides a place for them to find those qualities as well. And I'm sure if you practice metta, you've seen that happening in your life. And he's saying that that's often what we need to be doing when we feel that need to jump in and try to fix something or right all the wrongs in the world. And so that letting be is a quality to observe, and that's a way to deal with what we're finding unacceptable or hard to accept. So it can also be the other issue, I think, for me is, as I see my mother moving towards 100 years old, I find it hard. I find it hard to think of losing her now. And when we have really good days, when we talk on the phone, and yesterday I felt like we had one of those days where we really connected, and we shared something, and I really felt like, oh, my mother's really here, really present, and it was just wonderful. And I had been missing that, I think. So if I can let it be, I can be closer to accepting the impermanence of her life, and also accepting the impermanence of my life. So sometimes, in listening to Gil talk about this, letting it be, it's accepting those things that are just things we need to accept. And it can be not taking on someone else's issues, but being a refuge for them. and being there for them, but not trying to know their inner experience and how they're dealing with something. And it can also be letting it be when we really clearly see the realities of the world and of our lives, being able to let it be. And I'm not even tapping into really probably the essence of Gil's talk, and the meditation is really beautiful. But I wanted to share that with you. I'm watching them on YouTube, but it is Insight Meditation Center, and he is in California, so everything he's doing and his other teachers are doing are on YouTube. And it's Redwood Insight, but I think you can subscribe to Insight Meditation Center, and it's all of his talks and meditations, and the ones from other teachers there are also online. So I recommend them, but I really want, when we meditate today, I'd like letting it be to be part of that practice. And it puts a totally different spin on things. I think it is a way to begin developing the quality of equanimity or equipoise, where we don't let things throw us, where we see things. Equanimity is a kind of letting it be, like the Serenity Prayer in the 12 steps, to have the wisdom to see the difference between the things we can change and the things that we can't change. So that's why I think it's every time we can get a little closer to understanding that, because our tendency as humans is usually, well, let's fix it. Let's go out and do something to fix this problem or fix this injustice. And sometimes we have to let things be. But the way we can help is from a deeper, more steady place. So anyway, I just want to share that with you because it was really important to me. It is really important to me right now. But now let's get back. We have a nice teaching today in our pilgrimage, the Pilgrim's Companion. And these are readings from the Buddhist text to enhance a pilgrimage to the sacred sites in India where the Buddha was born and where he gave his first sermon and began the turning of the wheel, and where he became enlightened, and then the place where he died and achieved his final enlightenment. So we're on day 18 of our 35 days. And this is a very famous teaching, and this one is The Blind Men and the Elephant. It's from the Udana 6:4. And then the reflection is on the 32 parts of the body. The blind man, the blind men, and the elephant. One day in Jetavana, after finishing their meal, some bhikkhus approached the Buddha, paid homage to him, sat down to one side, and said, "Venerable Sir, sometimes on our alms rounds, we see wanderers of other sects." These were other ascetics who were, all over India at that time. We see wanderers of other sects living around Sawati, who hold various views, beliefs, and opinions, and who propagate those views. They are quarrelsome and disputatious, and wound each other with verbal darts, such as, "The Dhamma is like this, it is not like that," and "The Dhamma is not like this, it is like that." The Buddha said, "Bhikkhus, wanderers of other sects, are blind and sightless. They do not know what is beneficial and harmful. They do not know what is the Dhamma and what is not the Dhamma. Formerly, there was a king in Sawati who asked a man to round up all the people in the city who were blind from birth. When the man had done so, the king asked him to show the blind men an elephant. To each of the blind men, the man presented only one part of the elephant's body. Not to all of them, but to all of them he said, "This is an elephant." Then the king went to the blind men and said, "Tell me, blind men, what is an elephant like?" Those who had been shown the head of the elephant replied, "An elephant, your majesty, is like a water jar." Those who had been shown the ear replied, "An elephant is like a winnowing basket." Those who had been shown the tusk replied, "An elephant is like a spear." Those who had been shown the trunk replied, "An elephant is like a snake." Those who had been shown the body replied, "An elephant is like a storeroom." Those who had been shown the tail replied, "An elephant is like a rope." Those who had been shown the tuft of the tail replied, "An elephant is like a brush." The blind men began fighting with each other, shouting, "An elephant is like this, it is not like that." They even resorted to fighting with their fist. Seeing this, the king was delighted. In the same way, the wanderers of other sects are blind and sightless, and thus they become quarrelsome, disputatious, and wrangling, and they wound each other with verbal darts. I love this story. Most of us have heard a similar story when we were children, right, of the blind men and the elephant. We weren't taught it as a Buddhist story, but it's part of our folklore as well, and part of our stories we learn. And what do we learn about it? Is that we all see different parts of reality, and we all see them in our different ways. So that quarreling is useless. None of them see the entire picture. So the parts that they see, it makes sense for them to interpret it the way they did, but they're not recognizing that there are all these different aspects of all truth. So they haven't found the teacher who lacks the sense that they are all missing. So the reflection, which is an interesting to put with the story about the elephants, I think I like this positioning. The reflection for today, the 32 parts of the body. And this is the traditional way that's taught in the 4 foundations of mindfulness and other places where the traditional meditation of the parts of the body. So we often change it, and when I had the 4 foundations of mindfulness class with Bhikkhu Analayo, the way I usually lead this is the way he taught it, which is he's really scanning the body for skin, flesh, and bones. And you move through the body, kind of picking up all of these parts. So why don't you close your eyes, and we'll do this as our meditation, as the beginning of our meditation. This is a body scan on the 32 parts of the body. And we can use the time together after we do this scan. So you can sit in that comfortable position or be on your back. Use any kind of ways you need to make your body feel comfortable. But if you're standing or sitting or lying on your back, or you're in bed, you can make your back, your spine feel lifted up. Let the vertebrae be lifted apart from each other, so you can feel that lengthening. So your lungs have the maximum space to breathe, so your breath is good. And then just be aware of the body breathing. And keep relaxing your body. The body is made up of hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinew, bone, marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, diaphragm, spleen, lungs, intestine, mesentery, stomach, excrement, brain, bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, lymph, tears, serum, saliva, nasal mucus, synovial fluid, urine. Now we go back up through the body. Urine, synovial fluid, nasal mucus, saliva, serum, tears, lymph, sweat, blood, pus, phlegm, bile, brain, excrement, stomach, mesentery, intestine, lungs, spleen, diaphragm, liver, heart, kidneys, marrow, bone, sinew, flesh, skin, teeth, nails, hair of the body, hair of the head. Know that here there is nothing pure, lasting, or reliable. All is subject to change and to dissolution. All of these parts of the body, the aggregates that make up the body, that's form. Nothing pure, nothing lasting, nothing reliable. All is subject to change and to dissolution. And that's the impermanence of the human body. So, accepting our impermanence is, I think, an ongoing process depending on the age we are, depending on what we're going through in our lives, and I think its impact is kind of comes back to us, and we have to work through it at different points in our lives. And I just read this morning, Pema Chodron has Through Sounds True is doing, it's an audio program, but it's welcoming change, and I think it's talking about mostly about end-of-life change. So it seems like it's a very reasonable price. You might want to check it out. It Sounds True. She's a good teacher, and she's in the Tibetan tradition, but her teaching has been very helpful. And Welcoming the Unwelcome was the book that we read for book club, the first book. And I think it was appreciated by everyone. So I think a lot of what she talks about might be in this audio program. So I interrupted our meditation, didn't I? So let's sit. Let's take a few more minutes just sitting together. Be aware of the body breathing. And be aware of what's going on around you. what's happening right now. And be aware of what's happening within you. And let's just sit now for a few minutes with this phrase, let it be. And this doesn't mean we are shirking any responsibilities, that we are not being a noble friend. This means we are letting things be the way they are without jumping to fix them or change them or right the wrongs. Sometimes that may be beyond our abilities or we're not seeing clearly. But we can be a place of refuge, a place of calm. We can bring that equanimity into our presence. We can be the refuge. We can be the calm voice. We can be the cool water, the shade of a tree on a hot day. We can listen. We can let our opinions and our viewpoints just be. Just let them go and let them be. We don't need to add to the chaos. Just let it be. like to end our time together by sharing merit. May everything that we do and say and think today be done not only for our own benefit, but for the benefit of all living beings everywhere. And may you be well and happy and peaceful, and be a refuge to yourself and a refuge to everyone who comes into your presence. Be the place of calm. Thank you so much. I'll be here Tuesday. See you Tuesday.